Why is it hard for us highly sensitives to make decisions? We overanalyze our options. We are afraid of making the wrong decision. We have decision fatigue. We have intense emotions, right? We feel intense emotions. Gosh, so often I'm even just like driven into making a decision quickly because I can't handle the intensity of being up in the air, right? That feeling for me is so unsettling. I feel so untethered that I'm like, I don't care. I just got to make a decision and then I'll go with that decision because I do not like feeling like I'm floating up in the middle of the air or like swimming in the midst of a huge ocean, untethered. I want to have something to hold on to because once I make a decision, then I can hit the ground running. Then I can line everything up with it. Then I know which action steps to take, right? But there's a bit of balance, as always, right? Of like, oh, can I get myself into a better feeling state? Can I handle these emotions just a little bit longer? Yes? Yes. Sensitivity to external opinions, right? We're sensitive to other people's opinions, especially if these are people who are very dear to us and we know that they just want the best for us. Which lines us up perfectly for me to give you that key ingredient. What is the key ingredient for a highly sensitive to be able to more easily, gracefully make a decision? Self-confidence. Self-confidence. I know. Don't like scoff at me. I know. It's always something that we're working on, but it's so worth it to work on it. Look back over your days where we talked about self-worth, right? Yeah, day 16, day 17, we talked about self-worth. Also on day 23, we talked about deeply trusting yourself and kind of building on your intuition, right? Trusting your intuition. Once you put that piece into place, it's so much easier for you to make a decision. And I feel like this came to me. This is what I love about life. And this is what I love about challenges. When you have a big aha moment, you're like, it was worth it. It was worth the struggle. It was worth the problem just to have this feeling of like, I figured it out. So this aha moment for me was me trying to put my decision making on other people, right? Of like, can you just make that decision? Or I'm just going to go with what you say. And then it dawned on me why I was doing that. I was trusting the other person more, right? Especially usually my partner. You make that decision for me because it's so much easier for me to forgive my partner if it was the wrong decision than myself, right? Or anybody, my friend, my sister, if they make the decision for me and then it doesn't work out very well for me, I can forgive them much more easily because I know that they did their best. They had their best intention. They wanted to lead me the right way. It didn't work out for me. Also, if somebody else then goes, well, that was just stupid. Why'd you do that? I'd be like, maybe I just listened to bad advice, right? Maybe I just shouldn't have listened to that advice. Maybe this person didn't know enough about this, right? But that was going to be so much easier to handle than to feel like I made that decision, so I am at fault. I am the one who messed up my life, right? Have you ever felt that way? Like it would be easier to be somebody who listened to bad advice than somebody who made the decision themselves and failed, right? Failed, chose the wrong thing, and therefore has to suffer the consequences. It's like, well, you deserve it. You messed this up. Of course, not every decision is that grave, right? That huge, but that was always the feeling for me. And very quickly I would get into that feeling. And once I figured this out, and I'm like, why would I trust somebody else more than me? Nobody else is in this body, living this life every second of every day. Nobody knows me better than I know myself. My higher self knows me better than I know myself. Why not trust in that? Why not build the relationship with that? Why not connect deeply to that? and then decide to trust myself, decide that I am capable of handling my own life, right? This is what it comes back down to, because it was that core wound of being highly sensitive, of feeling like it's too much and I can't handle this. I'm not made for this world because there's just, too much stress, too much challenging things, it's just too much. I'm just too fragile for this world. You make the decision for me because you seem to have everything together in your life. You seem to be living, you seem to have a good handle on your life, and I don't feel like I do. So you make that decision for me. Wow. Once I figured that out, that was the system from, like, the belief from which I was operating from, I was like, okay, let's shift this, because I want to feel capable of making my own decisions. I want to feel capable of handling my own life. I want to be in charge of the direction that my life is going to go, because that is really the only way that I am ever going to find what I'm truly, truly seeking, which is deep, deep fulfillment. Yes. Nobody knows that better than you. And you, I would love for you to make that decision today, to say, I am capable. I know how to steer my own life. I am going to decide right now to take my life into my own hands, and I trust myself.